Say First Maccabees 1:41 on down, but read the whole book of Maccabees to get the understanding of how our people were led into captivity, not only physically, but in the mindset to call themselves Greeks, because if you continue to read, it was unlawful for you to call yourself an Israelite. If you did so, you will get put to death. So that's just like today, they said, okay, you can't call yourself black anymore. You have to call yourself African American. And if we catch you calling yourself black, we're gonna put you to death. Well, nobody would call themselves black anymore. They would be calling themselves what? African American. Because nobody wants to get put to death, right? So go back to Romans 10 and 12. Let me get another water, if it's another one. Romans 10 and 12, read that.
Romans chapter 10, verse 12. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek.
Now we understand what he's saying when he says there's no difference between Jew or Greek. Go ahead.
For the same master over all is rich unto all that call upon him.
So that we have the same master, which is Hamashiach Yahawashi, who is rich over all people. Go ahead.
For whosoever shall call upon the name of the master shall be saved.
So whoever calls on the name Yahawashi Hamashiach will be saved. This is what he's saying. Whoever calls upon them, whoever calls upon him shall be saved. So like I said them. Go ahead.
How then shall they call on him?
How then will the people call on Hamashiach Yahawashi? Somebody might say, what name is he using? What is he saying? He keeps saying Hamashiach, Hamashiach. Well, who is Hamashiach? Hamashiach is Christ. Hamashiach is Hebrew for the anointed one, the smeared one. This is who you call your Savior, right? This is why I say Hamashiach. In English, you would say Christ. Yahawashi is his Hebraic name, and in English, you might say Isos, or what do they call it? Isis. No, not ISIS. What do they call it? ISIS or Jesus. But in the Hebrew, it's called Yahawashi Hamashiach. Keep going. But how will the people know all this unless what?
In whom they have not believed.
In whom they have not believed. A lot of people don't believe in Christ. A lot of people don't believe in Hamashiach Yahawashi. A lot of people don't believe in the Father. Keep going.
And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard?
And how will you believe? How could you believe in him whom you have not heard? How can you believe in something that you have not heard? Go ahead.
And how shall they hear without a preacher?
That's all we saying. How will you be able to hear this? How will you be able to come to the understanding and know this without who? A preacher. You need a preacher to come out and proclaim these words, proclaim this gospel, the truth for the people. We're commanded to do so. Keep going. And then give me Tobit 13 and 3.
And how shall they preach?
And how shall we preach?
Except they be sent.
Except we be sent. So the only reason I'm out here preaching this gospel, Tobit 13 and 3. No, don't drop it yet. The only reason I'm out here preaching this gospel is because we were sent. All of us were sent. I didn't know this, but I was sent to do this task. And not only that, he has given me laborers with me to do this task. Because a lot of people say, well, I could do it by myself, and maybe I could. But what good is it to do it by yourself when you can have laborers with you in the body? It's more joyous, it's more beneficial, it's more helpful to have fellow brothers with you to do this. So he has sent us to preach this gospel, to deliver this message out of the body. Give me that Tobit in 13 and 3.
Chapter 13, verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel.
Do what? Do what?
Confess him before the Gentiles.
So we must confess our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahawashi, before the Gentiles. We're commanded to do such a thing. We have to confess them before the Gentiles, which are the heathens, which are the other nations, which would be the Greeks, the real Greeks, not the ones who were calling themselves Greeks, they were Israelites, but those true different nations, the Moabites, the Amorites, the Ammonites, the Gershonites, the Hivites, right? The Canaanites, all of these other different nations, heathen nations, we would have to go in front of and preach the good news and preach the gospel. Continue on.
Ye children of Israel.
Ye who?
Children of Israel.
See, only the children of Israel can truly go forth and preach the gospel. Why? Because that's who it was given to. When you read Romans 9 and 3, it tells you the services it was getting, that who was given to. Let's finish this and then go to Romans 9 and 3. But go ahead.
For he has scattered us among them.
He did what?
Scattered us among them.
See, we were scattered to the four corners on the face of the earth. This is why we must go forth and proclaim his gospel, because we were scattered to the four corners of the earth. We were scattered in every nation. This is why the Great Commission says, go out to every nation, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Why? Because Israelites have been scattered to all nations. Keep going.
Therefore, there declare his greatness.
Therefore, there, we're going to declare his greatness. We giving glory to our YAHAWAH and his only begotten Son, who the world calls Jesus Christ, but his Hebraic name is YAHAWAH. Go ahead.
And extol him before all the living.
Right, we're lifting him up. Go ahead.
For he is our Yahweh.
He is our YAHAWAH. Go ahead.
And he is the Most High, our Father.
He
forever.
is the Most High YAHAWAH. Go ahead.
Our Father forever.
Our Father forever. So sorry for cutting you off, Salakia, for that. But drop that and then give me Romans 9 and 3. And this is why he says we have to go proclaim these things in front of the Gentiles or the heathens. And we're commanded to do such a thing, as it says right there, because we have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. We have been scattered to all nations of people. But the Israelites, or Israel, are the only people that can go and preach the good news or preach the gospel. No other nation of people should be up teaching the commandments of the laws of the Most High YAHAWAH. Go ahead. Romans 9 and 3.
Romans chapter 9, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach.
Yeah, this is Paul speaking. He wished that he was accursed from Hamashiach Yahawashi. Go ahead.
For my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
According to the flesh. So this is not a spiritual thing, because you have certain nations of people that like to say that they're what? Oh, I'm spiritual Israel. I'm spiritual Judah. I'm spirit. No. This is a fleshly thing. He said, according to the flesh. Who are what?
Who are Israelites.
They are Israelites. Where you get the 12 tribes of Israel from. Let me show this sign. Where you get the 12 tribes of Israel from. Okay? The sons of Jacob, which are the 12 tribes of Israel. So, Paul is speaking to these people, and he said, I wish I was accursed for Hamashiach Yahawashi, who comes from the line or the tribe of Judah. And he said, these people are who?
Who are Israelites.
So these are all Israelites right here. All these people on this sign are Israelites. And that's who he's talking to. Go ahead.
To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory.
So these people, it pertains to adoption. So a lot of people in the world said that they're going to be what? Adopted in. But Paul said the only people that are going to be adopted in are Israelites. This is what Paul said in Romans chapter 9, verse 3. Only the adoption is only for who? Israel. Keep going.
And the glory.
And the glory is only for Israel.
And the covenants.
The covenants, the old covenant and the new covenant. How do we know this? Hold that and give me Hebrews 8 and 8. Hebrews 8 and 8. So we're going to cover the covenants. Because somebody going to say, no, we in the new covenant. No, the covenant. But we're going to see what the covenant says in the book of Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. And we're going to see if there's any other people or any other nation of people that's being spoken about here other than the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8.
Bring it out.
For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come.
The days come, go ahead.
Said YAHAWAH, when I will make a new covenant.
He's going to make a new covenant, go ahead.
With the house of Israel.
With the house of who?
Israel.
With the house of Israel, go ahead.
And with the house of Judah.
And with the house of Judah, meaning Israel was the northern kingdom and Judah was the southern kingdom after Solomon, and got split into two kingdoms, the northern and the southern. So he said, I'm going to make a covenant with the northern kingdom, which is Israel, and the southern kingdom, which is Judah. Go ahead.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers.
Not the old covenant that he made with their fathers, right? The Israel that he made at Mount Sinai. Go ahead.
In the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt.
So this is how we know he's talking about Mount Sinai, when they was in the wilderness for 40 years, right? Going around in the wilderness, and he made a covenant with them where? At Mount Sinai, right? So he's not talking about that when he says he's going to make a new covenant. But this new covenant is going to be with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Please show me where there's talking about any other people other than Israel and Judah. It's not there in the Bible. It's just not there. So where do people try to insert themselves into it when this is talking about Israel? It's not talking about any other nation. They have stolen the word of the Most High and applied it to their self. You can't just, you're a thief. And Christ said if you try to come up any other way other than him, you are a thief and a robber. And you guys out there, you other nations of people, you heathens, you Gentiles, are trying to come up another way. You have stolen the word of the Most High and applied it to yourself, and this is only applied to the nation of Israel, the so-called 12 tribes of Israel. And sorry for saying so-called, because it's not so-called, it is true. This is only applied to the 12 tribes of Israel. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons, and those are the 12 tribes of Israel. Continue on.
Because they continue not in my covenant.
Because they continue not in his covenant, which he's talking about the old covenant that he made with Israel. Go ahead.
And I regarded them not.
And he regarded them not. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to show in the new covenant in the book of Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8, it says that he's going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Paul is speaking in the what? Flesh. This is not a spiritual thing. So you can't wiggle out of this and say, oh, this is spiritual. I'm a spiritual Israel. No, I'm a spiritual Jew. No, he says these are flesh. This is flesh. And these are who? Israelites. Read it from the top again. Who are Israelites? Start right there.
Who are Israelites?
Yeah.
Verse 4. Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites?
Who are Israelites? Go ahead.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
So the adoption pertains to Israelites. Go ahead.
And the glory.
The glory pertains to Israelites. Go ahead.
And the covenants.
The covenants, the old covenant and the new covenant pertains to Israelites. Go ahead.
And the giving of the law.
And the giving of the law, which was at Mount Sinai in the wilderness, when they was in the wilderness for 40 years, that pertains to the Israelites. Go ahead.
And the service of the Most High.
And the service of the Most High YAHAWAH. All the service that you get, that pertains to the Israelites, meaning the only people that can service or preach the gospel is Israelites. Go ahead.
And the promises.
And the promises that were given to all of the people were Israelites. So every promise that was given were to Israelites. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Keep going.
Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came.
And concerning Hamashiach YAHAWAH, who the world calls Jesus Christ, this is why he came. He came to save his people from their enemies. Keep going.
Who is over all.
Who is over all. Go ahead.
The Most High, blessed forever. On the wall.
Go ahead.
Not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect.
Not as though has no effect over us. Go ahead.
For they are not all Israel.
They are not all Israel. Keep going.
which are of Israel.
Which are of Israel, because Abraham had other kids. He had who? What was the boy name? Ishmael. And then he had other children with Keturah. Go ahead.
Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham.
So like I'm saying, just because Abraham had multiple children, this doesn't mean that they are the ones who the promises and the covenants were given to. It's what? He's going to tell you it's through who?
But in Isaac.
But in who?
But in Isaac.
But in Isaac, go ahead.
Shall thy seed be called.
Shall thy seed be called. So this is why it goes Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Israel, he has 12 sons, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is why he says everything that is in the Bible is attributed to them. The new covenant, the old covenant, the giving of the law, the promises, everything is given to the children of Israel. The adoption. These are not my words. This is what's written in the book of Romans chapter 3 on down. Read it for yourself. But you know, like I say, they have taken the word of the Most High and applied it to themselves. They have stolen the word of the Most High, these other nations, and now they want to call themselves Christians and make up this man-made religion, Christianity, and they want to say that they love Jesus. Well, let me explain something to you. That man Jesus that you see on this sign right here, this white man, that's not the real person that came to the world to save his people. Okay? That image is a false image. But he explains it better, and let's go to Matthew. Give me Matthew 13 and drop everything. And just give me Matthew, not unless you was holding something that I had special. Did you have anything special? Okay. Drop everything, give me Matthew. Matthew 13. We're going to get into some of the parables that Hamashiach YAHAWAH said and he talked about. Let's get into that Matthew, and I believe I want to start at 36. And then also give me John chapter 4, verse 22. Start at John 4 and 22 first. John chapter 4, verse 22. Start at that verse. And then we'll go to Matthew. Then I'll close out. John 4 and verse 22. And we're going to read all the way down. Because a lot of people out here say that they're Christians. They say that they believe in Christ. But they really don't understand what the word is being said. This is why we started off this whole thing with Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, saying, I wanted to give you guys what? Meat. But I had to feed you with what? Milk, because you guys are not spiritual. But like I say, for those who have an ear to hear, please allow for them to hear. Read that.
John chapter 4, verse 22.
Bring it out.
Ye worship ye know not what.
They worship what they don't know. Go ahead.
We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of who?
Of the Jews.
See, we know what we worship. The Bible. We worship our Father, our YAHAWAH. And his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but in the Hebrew is YAHAWAH HaMashiach. We know who we worship. But you don't know who it is you worship. This is why he says this in John 4 and 22. Keep going.
But the hour cometh.
But the hour is coming. Go ahead.
And now is.
And it's now. The hour is now. Go ahead.
When the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
You shall worship the Father. The true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Go ahead.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
He seeks those that really, truly want to worship him. He is seeking those individuals out. Keep going.
The Most High is a spirit.
He's what?
Is a spirit.
The Most High YAHAWAH is a spirit, or a rakah in the Hebrew. Go ahead.
And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
So the only way you can worship the Father is in spirit and in truth. In spirit and in truth. That is the only way you can worship him. You must worship him in spirit and in truth. It has nothing to do with going to your church on a Sunday and giving some offerings in the collection plate. If you're not worshiping him in spirit and in truth, you might as well stay home, because it doesn't make a difference. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Verse 25, bring it out.
The woman saith unto him,
The woman, this is the Samaritan woman with the woman at the well. Go ahead. What did she say?
I know that Messiah cometh,
I know that the Messiah is coming. Go ahead.
which is called Hamashiach.
Which is called Hamashiach YAHAWAH. Go ahead.
When he is come, he will tell us all things.
She said, when this man comes, he's going to tell us all things. What did he say?
Yahawashi saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he.
He says, I that am speaking unto you, I am he. She didn't even notice she was talking to the Messiah at the well. Go ahead.
And upon this came his disciples.
Now the disciples arrived. They had left to go get some food for Christ, but now they have returned. Go ahead.
And marveled that he talked with the woman.
They marveled that he was talking to the Samaritan woman, because at that time, the Samaritans and the Jews did not have conversation with one another. They were basically against and strife once against another. Go ahead.
Yet no man said, What seekest thou?
Yeah, the disciples didn't say nothing because they were kind of scared. Go ahead.
Or why talkest thou with her?
Keep going.
The woman then left.
The woman then left, and she went back into the city of Samaria. And she told the people that was there, come see a man that has told me about everything in my life. He is the Messiah. Continue from there.
Verse 30.
Go ahead.
Then they went out of the city.
Then they went out of the city. Those people that she went and told, they went out of the city of Samaria. Go ahead.
And came unto him.
And came to Christ. Go ahead.
In the meanwhile, his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat.
In the meantime, his disciples are saying, eat something, Christ. Put something on your stomach. You haven't eaten all day. Eat a little food. What did he say to his disciples?
But he said unto them,
What did he say?
I have meat to eat,
I have meat to eat
that ye know not of.
that you don't know anything about. Meaning, I have food to eat that you don't know anything about. In Matthew chapter 4, verse 24, he said, what? Man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. So man does not live by only eating bread, fleshly thing. You have to consume the word of the Most High to feed your what? Spirit. This is what he's telling disciples. I have something different to eat that you don't know anything about, because they wasn't on the same level as him yet. Keep going.
Verse 33.
Verse 33, go ahead.
Therefore said the disciples one to another, Hath any man brought him aught to eat?
So the disciples are a little confused. They said, wait a minute, did somebody else bring him something to eat? He's saying that he has food or meat to eat that we don't know anything about. But Christ turned around and told them what? What did he say?
Yahawashi saith unto them,
What did he say?
My meat is to do the will of him that sent me.
My meat is to do the will of him that sent me. Meaning, my job, what I get the benefit from, is to do the will of the Father that sent me. That's what's most important. Not the very food that you put in your mouth and digest into your stomach. That's not important. What's important is to do the will of the Most High, who has sent you to this earth to proclaim and preach his gospel, to save his children from their enemies and bring them back to the sheepfold and save them from their sins. Keep going.
And to finish his work.
And to do what?
Finish his work.
And to finish his work. Go ahead. This is why when he was on the cross, or he was hung on the tree, the last thing he said when he was hanging there is what? It is finished. Why? Because he finished the work that the Father gave him to do. This is why he said that. It is finished. And then he gave up the ghost. Go ahead.
Verse 35.
Bring it out.
Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest.
He says, say not yet, or say not ye, that there are 4 months, and then come the harvest. Meaning, you think that the harvest is 4 months away. What did Christ say?
Behold, I say unto you.
Behold, I say unto you what?
Lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes right now. Lift up your eyes. Come on.
And look on the field.
And look upon the field. The field is the world. That's in Matthew chapter 13. We're going to go there next. How you sisters doing? Good, good. You have any questions? Keep going. Right on, keep going.
For they are white already to harvest.
So the harvest is already here. People are waiting on the harvest, but the harvest is already here. This is why he's saying, you think the harvest is 4 months away, but the harvest is now. Keep going.
And he that reapeth.
And he that reapeth, meaning the people that go out to reap the souls, to bring them back to the sheepfold, to save them from their sins. Go ahead.
Receiveth wages.
He receiveth what?
Wages.
He is going to receive his wages. This is why he tell you to store up your treasure where? In the kingdom, not here on earth. These are wages that I'm doing out here proclaiming the gospel. I don't need money from men or women. I don't need anything from a person. These are wages that are stored up in the treasures of the Shemayim, which is the heaven up top. Go ahead.
And gathereth fruit unto life eternal.
And gather fruit unto life eternal. This is eternal fruit that we are gathering here. The things that we're doing is eternal fruit. This is why he says, my people, you will know them by what? Their fruit. This is eternal fruit. Keep going.
That both he that soweth.
That he that soweth, the one who goes out and proclaims the gospel or preaches the gospel, go ahead.
And he that reapeth.
And he that reapeth, somebody else come along and tell you to come into the sheepfold and get the understanding of the true word of the Most High. Go ahead.
May rejoice together.
We will rejoice together. When we see one another, we will rejoice together. Keep going.
And herein is that saying true.
And here is the saying true.
One soweth.
One soweth.
And another reapeth.
And another one will reap it. Stay right there and give me that Matthew 13 now. Before we close out. Start at verse 36. So we spoke about the field, and we spoke about the harvest, and we spoke about one that soweth and one that reapeth. Keep that in mind when we read Matthew 13 and start at 36.
You want the explanation?
Yes, sir. The explanation of the wheat and the tares.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 36.
Bring it out.
Then YAHAWAH sent the multitude away and went into the house.
Then YAHAWAH sent the multitude away and went into the house. Go ahead.
And his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares and of the field. Declare unto us the parables.
Declare unto us. Tell us what it is that you just said in that parable. Explain it to us. Go ahead.
He answered and said unto them.
He answered and said unto them. What did he say?
He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man, which is Christ, Hamashiach. He is the one who sows the good seed. Go ahead.
The field is the world.
The field is what?
The world.
The field is the world. So when you see the field in the Bible, it's talking about the world. The field is the world. Go ahead.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom. Those are the ones that are going to go and get into the kingdom. That is the good seed. Go ahead.
But the tares are the children of the wicked.
But the tares, this is the parable between the wheat and the tares. But the tares are the children of the wicked. So in this world, you have the children of the Most High, and you have the children, which are called tares, are of the wicked one. Go ahead.
The enemy that sowed them.
The enemy that sowed these tares are who?
Is the devil.
Is who?
The devil.
The one who sowed these tares in the world, these evil, wicked people in the world, was the devil. He put them here. Go ahead.
The harvest is the end of the world.
The harvest is what?
The end of the world.
Well, we just read in John chapter 4, 32 on down that he said, you think the harvest is 4 months away, but the harvest is now. And here in Matthew 13, verse 36 on down, is telling us that the harvest is when? When is the harvest?
Right now.
It's right now. What are you waiting for? The harvest is now. We are harvesting right now. We are reaping right now. Keep going.
And the reapers are the angels.
And the reapers are the angels. I know this may be spiritual and hard for you to understand, but the angels in the Bible are called malachs. And we as human beings, the man of the Most High that was sent here to this earth, are called malachs or malachim. And we are sent here to reap, meaning we're sent here to reap the souls of the sons of the Most High. Keep going.
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire.
As the tares are gathered, they are done what? What are done to the tares?
Burned in the fire.
They are going to be burned in the fire. They're going to be gathered together, and then they're going to be burned in the fire. Everybody knows this. Anybody who knows anything about the Bible, you know about the lake of fire, and you think it's a game. You think it's just talk. But when that time come, and he come and gather you, and he stick you and throw you in the lake of fire, you will understand then that you were playing Russian roulette with your life and not giving your life over to Christ. Keep going.
The Son of Man shall send forth his angels.
The Son of Man, which is Christ, he will send forth his angels. The Son of Man, Christ, will send forth his angels to do what?
And they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend.
They will gather out of his kingdom all the ones that offend, meaning all the ones who break his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. Everybody who goes against his law, statute, and commandments, he will gather them and cast them out. Keep going.
And them which do iniquity.
And them that do what?
Iniquity.
Which is sin. All those who do iniquity and sin, he's going to cast out and burn them. Keep going.
And shall cast them into a furnace of fire.
Now, I didn't say it. This is what the Bible said. Don't get mad at me. This is what the Bible said. He said they're going to cast them where? Into where?
Into a furnace of fire.
Into a furnace of fire. Keep going.
There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father.
Then shall the righteous shine forth in the kingdom as the sun. Then shall the righteous shine forth. So the harvest is near. Prepare yourself. It's not 4 months away. It's not 400 years away. It's not 4 months, years, 100 years, millennial years, however you want to look at it. The harvest is now. The harvest is here, and it is now. Prepare yourself and be ready. Let me close out with this. Give me Sirach chapter 19 and verse 18. Actually start at 19 and 19, and I'll close out with this. We have to understand that the time is now, and we must give our life to Christ. Turn from your wicked ways, turn from your sins, and come back to the Most High Yahawah. But I know we're just sowers, we're just reapers. Nobody can come to him like we read earlier in John 6:44, unless the Father brings them. When you get it, go ahead and bring it out. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or better known as the book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 19. Bring it out.
The knowledge of the commandments of Yahawah.
Hold on. We got somebody who needs to be seen. He wants to rev his motorcycle so he can be seen. Hold on. Because I want this to be the last thing that's understood clearly. And bring it out hard for me, please. Go ahead.
The knowledge of the commandments of Yahawah is the doctrine of life.
The knowledge of the commandments is the doctrine of life. Meaning, if you want to live life, then you need to know the commandments. Go ahead.
And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
And those that do the things of the commandments that please him, they shall receive the fruit of what?
Immortality.
Immortality. Of the tree of the living, right? Immortality. Go ahead.
The fear of Yahawah is all wisdom.
The fear of what?
Yahawah is all wisdom.
The fear of the Most High Yahawah is all wisdom. Meaning, if you fear him, then you're living in what? Wisdom. And not only wisdom, but all wisdom. Meaning you are what? People like to say, are you baptized? Immersed. If you fear the Most High, you are immersed in the what? Spirit of the Most High, because it says you must what? Worship him in spirit and what? Truth. Keep going.
And in all wisdom.
And in all wisdom, go ahead.
Is the performance of the law.
Is the what?
Performance of the law.
So if you have the wisdom, then you will perform the law. and you will do what is pleasing to the Most High, Yahweh. Just as his son came and said, these are not my words, these are the words of who? My Father that sent me. Keep going.
And the knowledge of his omnipotency.
And the knowledge of his what?
Omnipotency.
Keep going.
If a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleaseth thee.
If you say to the Most High, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to keep your commandments, it's going to do what?
Though afterward he do it, he angereth him that nourishes him.
He angers the Most High who give him his nourishment. So that's all this is. We just come out to proclaim the gospel, the good news. Hopefully this was edifying for you. This is why we come out every Shabbat, to bring the gospel, bring the good news, to edify our people, even the ones out there in TV land that check us out. But we just come to proclaim his words. These are his words, not my words. We read it verbatim from Bible. And if you have a problem like the gentleman who walked by or rode by in his car and said bondage, then he has a problem with the scriptures, and he clearly does not understand what the Bible is bringing out. We give all praises, honor, and glory to our Father, APBTTMH, YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH, Ahchhyam, and with that we can say, Shalawam.